Hi, and welcome along to AFTV News Daily, the early edition. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are right now in the world watching this show. Thanks for being on board, and hope you're having yourself a great day so far. Of course, we're all looking forward to football returning. You won't have me here every day just talking about this rumour and talking about, various things regarding football. We will be talking about the real things that are happening on the pitch, and I can't wait for that. And as I said, only 5 days now to go. Wednesday, the 17th of June, same date as my daughter's birthday, actually. That is when we kick off the restart of the season, and I'm looking forward to it. You know what? By the way, I highly recommend, if you want to bring yourself right back up to date with where we are, we put out a video this morning, which is like a sort of recap on Arsenal's season so far. And you'll see that it's been of all the seasons, it's the most up and down, topsy-turvy season ever. Well, maybe not ever, but as long as I can remember. You've got to watch that video. Really does go through, where we were from the start of the season, what's happened all the way through right until now, and also, of course, to be continued. So if you want to get a real recap to catch up to where we are and what we would like to be able to achieve, make sure you watch that video. If you don't do anything else today, it's really, really good. Of course, football is back in Spain. Football returned back in Spain yesterday. There was a game, it's a local derby actually, between Sevilla and Real Betis. Sevilla running out 2-0 winners in the derby. Again, that would usually be a game, a massive game with, packed stadium at Sevilla. But of course, behind closed doors, so there were no fans there. They had a few little teething problems there as well. They were trying to do the thing where they're pumping through the sound of the fans, but that seemed not, the volume on that didn't seem quite right. Not quite as efficient as the Germans, but it was their first game back. And as I said, Sevilla winning by 2-0. The only one of the downsides with that game is that there were some fans who turned up outside the stadium, a group of Sevilla fans. They didn't seem to be socially distancing as well, and that will be a bit of concern for the authorities over there in Spain, because as we know, Spain has been hit hard by the whole coronavirus, and these fans saw it that, we can't stay away from this derby game. We've got to turn up, and it's a bit stupid of them to do that. That will raise concerns here in the Premier League. Obviously, that's one of the things that some of the authorities have been a bit worried about. The game, Liverpool, for instance, taking on Everton. If, of course, in their first game, if, of course, say Arsenal was to win the game against Manchester City, Liverpool could go to Everton and win at Goodison Park. And there's been fears that that could bring, Liverpool fans out onto the streets around the ground. But they're still going ahead with that game. You've got games like the North London Derby, of course, where I suppose, again, those fears would be there that, the authorities might be thinking, will Arsenal and Tottenham fans turn up outside the stadium? I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think that is going to happen at all. For number one, all the pubs are going to be closed. So, but no, I just don't think that will happen. But obviously, it is a fear right now. After seeing that happen yesterday at the Sevilla Betis derby. But football underway in Spain, and more games to come this weekend. Now, Mikel Arteta was being interviewed yesterday. He was in a Zoom call with Prince Andrew. Aubameyang was on it, Bellerin as well. They were talking, things Arsenal. Mertesacker was there as well. And Arteta being asked quite a few questions. And also he did another interview for Sky where he's been asked questions as well. And specifically brought up was the game against Brentford the other day where they lost by 3-2. And Arteta really sort of playing it down and saying, listen, it's just a friendly. It's just us trying to, get ourselves up to gear. We're trying a lot of different things. I mean, his specific quotes were, we're trying different things. We're trying to give minutes in their legs to all the players. Obviously, you have to change a lot of players through the games. Getting adapted to playing in an empty stadium as well, not having that energy from the fans. It was good. We played 2 friendlies. We're getting a bit of rhythm. We haven't played for a while. We tried to make it as close as possible to a real game. So you can see there him kind of sort of playing it down a little bit, and just to sort of say to people, you know, chill out a bit. It's us just getting ourselves up to speed, you know. And interesting, as he said, playing the games in those empty stadiums to try and replicate what's going to be coming, because obviously that's where they're going to be playing, in those empty stadiums, getting used to doing that. Obviously, the first empty stadium they're going to play in is not at the Emirates. As a matter of fact, the first 4 games are all away. So it would have been nice if they could have trained in those particular stadiums, but obviously that's not going to happen. But him just sort of saying that, you know, these are friendlies. And I think, you know, as I said, watching some of those games, you could see they don't go all in, you know. So, as I said, don't get too carried away about the 6-0. Don't get too carried away about the 3-2. It's what happens next week. Claude was on the show last night, and as he said, you know, he said he didn't even watch the second one, because he goes, as far as he's concerned, it means nothing. It is all about them getting themselves back into shape. Hector Bellerin was also on that Zoom call with those guys, with Prince Andrew and that, where Prince Andrew actually was joking to Aubameyang about, you know, would he come to Villa? Prince Andrew, obviously, sorry, Prince William, should I say, not Prince Andrew. Prince William is a big Aston Villa fan. But Hector Bellerin's also was on that talk, and he spoke about how the fact that the players taken a pay cut has brought the whole squad together. That's what he said. You know, he's brought the players together, taking that pay cut, and also he said that some of the non-playing staff came to the players and thanked them for their gesture. You know, of helping to take that pay cut and, you know, ensure that they all stay in a job. So he said that that's really brought the squad together, and you know, it's good to see that there's positives coming out of that, and that the players seem to be cool in taking that pay cut, and have got back some positive vibes over it. There is also the rumours flying around today in various different parts of the media that both Inter Milan and Juventus are interested in signing Hector Bellerin come the end of this season. He's said to be valued at around about £27 million, still got about 3 years left on his contract. And, you know, one of the few players we've got tied down to a long-term deal. And these 2 clubs, big clubs, obviously, interested in signing him. It's going to be interesting, this one. Will Bellerin stay at Arsenal? See, you know what? He seemed very comfortable in that interview. And as I said, when he talked about, you know, players taking a pay cut and we're all together and stuff like that, he didn't sound like a guy that's even thinking about moving away. But there have been rumours circulating for a few weeks now. And again, these rumours today, you know, there's even been rumours saying that he's going to wait to see what happens with Arsenal. Are they going to get into Europe? The rumours are that Arsenal would love to keep him. You know, they see him as a very integral part of the team. He is, of course, even at 25 now, is one of the senior players in the team, having been at Arsenal for so long. So it's going to be an interesting summer to see what happens with Hector Bellerin. Will he stay or will he go? And as I said, those are 2 big clubs chasing him, Inter Milan and Juventus. Arsenal could find it hard to turn down big offers if they come in for Hector Bellerin. Arsenal continue to be linked with Jonathan David today. We've been linked with him now for, well, since the whole lockdown started. Jonathan David, he's 20, plays for Genk, strikers, had a good season until their season finished over there in Belgium. And Arsenal continue to be linked with him. Manchester United also said to be interested in the signature now of Jonathan David as well. So they're another team that's getting involved and would like to sign him. So I think, you know, when the summer comes, that's when we're going to have to keep an eye on these sort of rumours and see if anything comes out of it. And of course, Thomas Partey, he's linked with us absolutely every day, and continues again to be linked with us. It was interesting, the quotes from his dad. His dad did an interview for a radio station, and these are the quotes from his dad. He said, "My son's current club is Atletico Madrid. My son's current club, Atletico Madrid, has a release clause in Partey's deal. This means that any club which shows an interest in signing him must meet those demands. So any team which meets Atletico's demand will be able to sign my son, and not specifically Arsenal. I always call my son, and he is of an age to decide on a move. I am ready to support his decision." So basically, all he really saying there is that, you know, he has the release clause that we all know about. Must be one of the most well-known release clauses of £45 million. If a club meets that release clause, they'll be free to chat to him. And, you know, he's saying, you know, he's not specifically Arsenal. You know, it could be another club, you know. But anybody who meets that release clause will be free to talk to him. There's also been rumours today that Partey would like to stay at Atletico Madrid, but he wants a massive rise in his wages. And that is going to be probably a sticking point for him, because Atletico very short of cash right now. Remember, they've got another team that built a new stadium in recent years. They've got a lot of debt. You know, they may not be willing to pay those high wages. Could this be a deal that could happen in the summer? Arsenal know what they have to do if they want to get this done. Meet the release clause. It's as simple as that. If you meet the release clause, you get a chance to have a chat with him. You get a chance for him to come. If you don't meet that release clause, then that makes it a lot harder. So interesting times with this deal. And of course, all will be revealed once the season is over. Unless that is, in the meantime, he was to say, put pen to paper on a new deal at Atletico before the season ends. Now, also linked with this Serbian under-21 player today. His name is Dejan Zukic. He plays for a team called FK Vojvodina over there in Serbia, 19. And he's a player that's been having a good season, but his contract is up at the end of this month. So again, another free agent, free to go and join whichever club he wants. He's really highly thought of as one of the top prospects over there in Serbia. Quite a lot of clubs looking at him and scouting him, including Arsenal. Spurs are interested as well. Inter Milan have said to be looking at him. Lots of various clubs across Europe. He's an attacking midfielder. And as I said, you know, only 19 and is free. Wouldn't cost a cent. Only wages, and even those wouldn't be high at a 19-year-old. Fits the bill perfectly for Arsenal right now. So let's see how that develops out. As I said, a lot of clubs looking at him. Obviously, Arsenal linked to absolutely everybody right now, especially when it's a player that's coming towards the end of his contract. But I think that one, we'll see more of that as we get towards the end of this month. But his contract will be up soon. Right, let's get into some of your comments. Osman says, "Morning, Robbie. How much do you reckon we can get if we can sell Bellerin? And would we be able to invest that money on another quality right back?" Well, you've seen what the speculation is that they want, you know, Arsenal would want at least about £27 million for him, which I think that's probably a fair valuation when you consider the fact that he's had quite a lot of injuries and stuff like that. I think that's a fair valuation. It had not been for all those things. I mean, a couple of years ago, I would have said he was worth more than that. But it's been an injury-affected time for him. He's not fully over that injury by the looks of it. Although, as I said, nice run I saw him do the other day in the game against Brentford. But yeah, I think £27 million would probably be a fair. Anything from 25 to 30 million would be a fair amount of money for him, I think. And listen, it would have to be reinvested if we sold him, because he's an important player for the club. Ilias says, "Morning, Robbie. How much do you reckon?" Oh, that's the same question, isn't it? Oh no, it's same person answered a similar question. How much do you reckon we could get if we sell Bellerin, and would we invest that money in other quality right backs? Well, listen, as I said, 27 million. We'd have to invest it. Joe NB says, Robbie, to be honest, Arsenal ain't signing anyone unless we sell Aubameyang. They've missed the boat. Self-sustaining model can work, but we've lost our assets. When you think about it, selling Aubameyang, it wouldn't really make, because you're not going to get the money that he's worth. He's in the last year of his contract. He's 31 nearly. You're probably going to get the similar amount, about 20 to 30 million absolute tops for him. So that's not going to be a good sell. Bellerin is an asset. You could get like a 27. You could also, I suppose, maybe a Torreira. If you sold him again, you're talking like, I'm sure Arsenal will be looking for about 30 million at least for him, at least what they paid for him. So there are assets in the young players, but we've still got a load of the dead wood that's on the books at the moment that need to come off of it. Ian Constable says, hi Robbie, we can't attract the best players for many reasons, so why not spend big on our academy and go with the Ajax model, selling players for high sums instead of letting contracts run out? I think it's quite obvious with what Arsenal are doing at the moment that they are investing in youth. They are going for those, trying to bring for as many of those young players as possible. Look at Arsenal in comparison to a lot of other Premier League clubs. They're giving a lot of very young players a chance. Kevin Chica says, Robbie, besides Partey, who should we sign in your opinion? Well, Havertz would be nice, but it ain't going to happen. I still think we need an experienced centre back, and a Koulibaly would be brilliant, but that ain't going to happen. Those would fix it. Chibuzu says, Chelsea put Kante up for sale and are planning to hijack the Partey deal. Saw that rumour today. Obviously, Kante's been linked with Real Madrid for a long time, and 29 now, Kante. So that could be. I very much doubt that's going to happen. I don't think Kante will go. I think he'll stay at Chelsea, unless if Real Madrid come in. But Real Madrid, they've got good players in that area, and money's going to be short, so I can't see that happening. Quam Kelly says, Robbie, do you think Partey will come to Arsenal this transfer window? Love from Asia. I do think it's a possibility. It's really hard to tell. I think if Arsenal could get into the Champions League, it's a possibility. If they performed a miracle and got into the Champions League, yes, I could see that happening. If they don't get into the Champions League, that deal's very, very difficult to do because, number one, they're not going to have the money from the Champions League, but is Partey going to want to come and play in the Europa League, after being, really starring in the Champions League? That's where, he's really put himself to the fore. So it's really hard to say. I can't answer that until the season finishes. It's doable if you put the money on the table. But Peace Love says 45 million equals Premier League title contenders. Pablo Mari will prove Claude wrong. So I hope he's right with that. Grant Teresa says, when was the last good centre-back pairing at Arsenal? Me, it was Koscielny and Mertesacker. He says, get Ransom Bants. Koscielny and Mertesacker was okay. When I'm talking about pairings, I'm talking last good pairing at Arsenal is probably Sol Campbell and, Kolo Toure or something like that. You know what I mean? That was about the last time we had up until then, we had great partnerships. You know what I mean? Adams and Bold and people like, it was an area of strength for Arsenal. And just in recent times, it's just like, I don't know, just can't sort the defense out. Calvin says, hi, Robbie. I think top 4 won't happen. Realistic view is top 5. Unai left us in too big a mess. I still hope for top 4, but top 5 is more realistic. As I said, check out that video that we've got out this morning, and you can sort of plot how poor a season it was under Unai Emery. For us to be even talking about the possibility of top 5 after the season we've had is a bit of a miracle. Ija says, if Cedric is still injured, then he is not the answer. Well, he hasn't played yet. He still hasn't played yet. You know what I mean? He's got a face mask on now. Don't know if they're going to have another friendly, but if they don't, I can't see him starting in that first game. Bellerin started both games, and so is Tierney. And I reckon that those two will probably start against Manchester City. Scarface says, for Claude forfeit, he has to dress up as Ty for a full season. That was me challenging Claude to a forfeit, that he's got to do a forfeit if his prediction that Aubameyang doesn't sign doesn't come true. Abhinav says, hi Robbie, who do we have available in the market for right back if Hector leaves? Well, of course, there's been a lot of talk about Max Aarons at Norwich. He costs a similar amount of money. Is he better than Bellerin? That's the question. A lot of people have been talking him up. He looks very good, but that's Norwich. You know what I mean? We've been watching him week in and week out. Norwich, would he be able to step up? He looks a talent. Maybe he could be the player, that is the guy that steps up for that role. Alexander B says, Bellerin to Inter, they're becoming more a Premier League club than most Premier League teams. I'd sell though. Yeah, because they of course got Ashley Young, as well in that right back position, which was a bit of a strange one, but they've got him there at the moment. I think that's only till the end of the season, if I'm right. Funk Marsad said, top defenders aren't as readily available and clubs won't let them go. Good strikers and midfielders are found by the boatloads, defenders not so much. But have we really gone out there and really tried to make that happen? You know what I mean? Getting that top quality centre back. Bakri says, morning, Robbie. I think Saliba will be a good defender for us next season. Looking at his stats from last season, he made only 2 fouls in 12 games and won 70% of his duels and no yellow or red cards. Yeah, he's had a good season, but it's the Premier League, and that is different to the French league. Massive step up. Amar says, if we were to sell Bellerin for around 30 million, we should go for Hakimi. Perfect modern fullback, gets up and down the pitch so well, lightning fast, and could develop into a world-class level with us. Definitely will be a great player to go for, but from what I've been told, he's going back to Real Madrid. Would Real Madrid be willing to sell him? Real Madrid are not, stacked with a load of money, but I think they'll be obviously they would have seen what Hakimi's done out on loan and might be keen to keep him. Karen says, Robbie, I think Partey deal would be the huge difference in quality for our squad. He wants to come here. He has indicated that multiple times. We have a good attack and young prospects in defence. It would definitely be a great signing if Arsenal was to pull it off. But, I have to wait until the end of the season to see whether that happens or not. Afam says Chesney once won the Golden Glove in the Premier League with Mertesacker and Koscielny. They were a good partnership, but I don't consider that, I think the person said the last great partnership. They were all right, they were all right. Jake says, did you hear the report where Arsenal are going to have £237 million to spend? No, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that report. Tiraf says, let's be honest, Don Robbie. Bellerin has had one good season, like one season, and he's been here for over 100 years. Time to get rid of him. He's part of the old regime that's got us nowhere. But in getting rid of Bellerin, are we then getting rid of a lot of experience? He's a senior player, but a young senior player, because he's only 25. So do you not want to keep those sort of players in the dressing room? I don't know. You know what I mean? To me, it's sort of all about ability. He's been a bit very quiet for a long time, but he's had injuries. I think, for me, I'd be looking at it. If these rumours are true, if I was in charge of Arsenal, I'd be looking at what he does from now till the end of the season before I made a decision on that. John says we should get Fredericks from West Ham. Testy says, hi Robbie, did you see the Mesut Ozil post by Lee Gunner? What are your thoughts? Personally, I was disgusted. No, I didn't. But I know he's always going in on Mesut Ozil. He's not a big fan of Ozil's, as you've seen when he's come on here. Again, with Ozil, I'd really love to see Ozil finish this season strongly and silence the critics, you know, because he's obviously going to know he's got a lot of critics out there at the moment. Silence them. Go out there and finish off the season really, really strongly. Change people's opinions. Let people start saying, well, you know what, should we give him an extension? You know, play that well that people, because people can change their opinions, you know. But he's had a poor season. Let's be real. Dipu says, Robbie, we need a power in midfield. Swap Torreira for Kessie. Then get Fraser free and swap Mkhitaryan for Kluivert. Then just pay for Partey. And he says, wash hands, wash hands, wash hands. It says, you make it sound so simple. Is Kessie, is he better than Torreira? Frank Kessie? I think I'd rather Torreira any day. Joe says, Robbie, who do you think will have the best transfer window? Listen, at the moment, I think it could be Chelsea because, you know, they didn't spend no money for 2 transfer windows, and so now they've got money to spend. You know what I mean? They've been keeping that money there, and they've got money to spend. So I think everybody else is going to have problems, but you know, they're going to be spending. Atul says, why are you not reading my messages, Robbie? I've sent 100 times with no luck. I think Ozil lost ambition after retiring from international football. He's won the World Cup and now has no dream or ambition. Apologies if I haven't read your message before. We get absolutely hundreds, so I'll try to do as many as I can. So that some do get missed, but Atul, big up yourself. Yeah, listen, the hunger is not there at the moment from Mesut Ozil. When you see him play, I don't see that, you know, real hunger to prove everybody wrong, get in a box, score a goal, you know what I mean? I don't know. Or am I reading it wrong because he's just always had that body language, which is just sort of that casual, that's his style, isn't it? So it's really difficult to judge what's going through his head or what he really feels when the games are going on, because that's just his style. Winfred says, I worry that any players Arsenal sell, Stan will use the money to pay off his loans. Alexander says, morning Don Sheikh, Sultan, Kingpin Robbie. I think that if Arsenal have the reported 235 million and if Sam Mislintat is in charge, we will get Upamecano, Hakimi and Havertz, no doubt. Well, listen, Sven Mislintat is not in charge. £235 million to spend. I do not see that whatsoever. No, I can't see that. I just can't see that. You know, if players are taking a pay cut, how are they going to have £237 million to spend? Young Ab says, morning, Robbie. Thanks for keeping me occupied during this desperate time. Huge respect goes to you. Try not to focus on haters. Chelsea fan here from South London. You should come down here. Come down here. Listen, man, I used to live in South London. Listen, I never focus on haters, and thank you very, very much for that. And listen, I don't waste time with haters, bro. You know what I mean? We got work to do, and that's what I concentrate on. And you know what? We're gonna we got some great coverage coming up of all the games. So you know, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. Peace Love says Bournemouth should be relegated just because they're above us in chronological order. Why? Why are you handling Bournemouth like that? Roger D says, Bossman Robbie, we need to sell Mkhitaryan, El Neni, Mustafi, Socrates, Kolasinac, Bellerin and Torreira and get Ryan Fraser on a free, Partey and Max Aarons, keep Mari and Louise. Louise has been coming under a lot of stick for his performance the other day, the lackadaisical way in which he gave the ball away that led to one of the goals. cannot do that against Man City. Hopefully, that was he just did that in training only. I can't pronounce that name, but respect due to you, bro. He's from Kenya. He says, Robbie, why don't we let go Aubameyang and Lacazette? Then we get Jovic on loan and buy Osman Udward. Number we take Said Ben Rama from Brentford. Come on. I'd be asking a question. Jovic and Edouard, are they better than Aubameyang and Lacazette? Come on, man. They're not even... None of those two players are nowhere near the quality of Lacazette and Aubameyang. You know what I mean? So that just doesn't make sense. I'm all for bringing in young players and stuff like that, but they've got to be good enough. Those players, they're good up-and-coming players. Then Jovic is not a patch on Aubameyang. And why would we want to bring him in anyway for Aubameyang when you've seen the season Jovic has had? He's been terrible. And then in comparison to the season that Aubameyang's had, no, I'm sorry, respect to you, bro, but I don't agree with that at all. Here says, hi, Robbie, the Football Content Awards are at the Spurs Stadium this year. Imagine the scenes if AFTV win a trophy there. I said this the other day. I had to speak at some conference earlier last year at the Tottenham Stadium. I remember when I turned up there and all the security, they're going, what are you doing here? What are you doing? It was funny. And I have been there already. I went there for, obviously, into the actual stadium for the game when Arsenal played Tottenham in the women's North London derby, which we won, by the way. And you know what? It's a decent stadium. Yeah, it's all right. Nasser says, many players wanted to come to Arsenal, but we don't make a move. Recently, Ziyech and now Partey go and make a move. Listen, his dad says, put the money on the table for the release clause. You can talk to Partey. If we've got 237 million, I don't know where that's come from. But if we got 237 million, go talk to Partey right now. We ain't got... We're not spending 237 million this summer. I'll do a forfeit if that's good. I guaranteed we are not spending that type of money, right? Clip this and play it back to me 100 times if I'm wrong. And I would love to be wrong, but we are not spending 237 million pounds this summer. No chance. Thanks for watching the show today. Don't forget we're going to be back tonight at our usual time is 8 o'clock. I know we came at 9 last night, and we still loads of people watching it. It's absolutely fantastic. And I really thank you guys for really supporting the show. From next week, we won't be having 2 news dailies per day. We're going to have 1, and the reason why that is because we're going to have so much other bits of content around because the football's returning. But we are going to keep these shows going. It's great to talk to you guys. It's great to get you guys putting your opinions in. So we are going to be still talking to you guys. All right. So keep it locked here. Well, we've been told by just to do 2 more. Sharia says, would you take Van der Beek from Ajax as a replacement for Ozil? Yeah. You know what? I want a real goal-scoring midfielder. Van der Beek is good. He's good, but I want to go even higher. Van der Beek is a good player, but I want to go even higher. And Mar Thomas says, Robbie, Ozil is class all day. That has been his body language, even when he was at Madrid and playing in Germany. And I suppose you are right. Thanks for that. As I said, I'll be back later on. Thanks for watching, and see you tonight at 8.